My name's Alex Larosa. That's Alex Larosa. I'm a corporal with Charlie 1st Platoon, CB. My hometown is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And do you have a local newspaper out there you read?
I do. It's the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Okay. So what is tracking?
Tracking, basically the definition of that would just be locating what's called spoor, which would be like anything like a footprint, broken branch, shine in the grass or something like that, and basically just following that trail of the quarry or the person you're trying to track.
What are some of the challenges that face an enemy that you're tracking?
Some of the challenges, basically, if you're not ready and if you are tracking someone and you're not ready for what they're capable of, they could ambush you, or they could lead you on a false track into an IED, something like that.
You just graduated TTOS, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
How long ago did you go through the course?
I went through last week. I graduated last Friday, so 2 weeks before that, it was a 2-week course. So I started on Monday, went all the way through to the next Friday.
What is TTOS?
Stands for Tactical Tracking and Observation Skills. Just goes through the basic tracking an enemy, observing the enemy, or using surveillance to conduct on them, and just basically observe where he goes and what he's doing.
Okay. So who teaches the course?
There's a group of civilians. They're all ex-military. There's five instructors, and Pete was the lead instructor. But they all have some pretty good knowledge from prior military service.
Can you tell me do you have a favorite memory of the training so far?
My favorite memory, probably finishing the 24-hour tracking event. We moved somewhere around, I think it was 10 miles from Polgus to Horno. So it was a pretty far hump over and down mountains. So probably finishing, finding the actual quarry, and completing the training.
What were some of you said mountains, what other types of challenges did you guys face while doing that?
It was hot. The 2 days we were doing the 2-day track, it was about 90 degrees. Carrying water, food for 2 days, so having weapons as well. And just, yeah, but other than that though, and then going up and down mountains, just definitely hardest part.
Why do you think it's important that you guys get this training?
I think every Marine needs something like this, just because it gives you another skill to add to whatever it is you do. In our case, finding IEDs, there is an actual day in the training that deals with IED training, and being able to pretty much observe indicators through an IED and then take into account tracking into it, like seeing footprints that go up to it and then go away from it. You may be able to track down that individual. So it does really help with our job.
So you liked the course?
I did, yes.
How much of it is book work as opposed to actual hands-on?
There's I'd say probably about maximum 5 hours in the class. The rest is all in the field. So it's a lot of hands-on, which is good, because I know a lot of Marines, they learn better, doing it actually out in the field. So there's a lot more hands-on work than there is book work.
What were some of the things that you guys did out in the field doing hands-on stuff?
We did basically split up into teams we started with, and we would track each other, just take it nice and slow. Another thing was we did a shooting range where we'd shoot enemies that were camouflaged, basically learning how to engage enemies you can't see. We did an IED tracking day where we learned about different kinds of booby traps and IEDs and indicators for that. And then we did, of course, the 24-hour tracking event where we tracked one of the instructors for over 24 hours.
Do you have any background prior to the TTOS training in tracking at all?
No, none whatsoever.
Do you feel confident that you can take the skills that you've learned from TTOS and apply them in your, we'll start off with day-to-day life?
Maybe not day-to-day, but definitely I can apply them to, I can take what I learned and teach guys that haven't gone through the class in my unit.
Okay.
So.
How do you feel like this is going to impact the future of the Marine Corps and crisis around the world?
I think it's going to help a lot if you can get a majority of the Marine Corps trained in it. It's just, like I said, it's just another skill. You never know when you're going to have to track, or even if you're being tracked, how to, you know, counter that. So.
How do you think that this training specifically affects engineers?
Well, like I said, engineers, we specialize basically in finding IEDs, or maybe not exactly finding them, but avoiding them as well. It definitely enhances our observation skills and our eyes, the use of our eyes, which is the number one thing in counter IEDs today. I mean, we have all this equipment, but really the number one thing is our eyes. And what this does is it enhances our skills to observe the ground, the area, everything, and pretty much just hone in on IED.
In closing, do you have anything specific that you want to say about the TTO's program or for CEB?
I'll say this about the program. It's a great program. All the instructors are great, all 5 of them. I loved all good guys. They're you think they're old at first, but they will run you into the ground. And it was good training though, and hopefully more people in the Marine Corps and in CEB can get it.
And when you go back to your shop, do you have any plans so far as to how you're going to incorporate this with the rest of your junior Marines?
I haven't yet. A bunch of our junior Marines actually went through it with me, but if I do come across someone that hasn't, I could talk to them kind of about how to implement what I learned into what we're doing as far as counter IED. So it should help.